All right. Good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Pei Pen and
Good evening, and my name is Shay Brown. Good evening. Can we give ourselves a big round of applause, please?
and I just realized that we're going to do YouTube Live tonight. So, all right, you know what? And for my staff, maybe we could send out a note to our donor advisory board members of this YouTube Live. I forgot about that. So you could also share it with your friends as well. But again, good evening, and I'm so excited to be co-emceeing with Shay Brown here.
It's my pleasure. I'm originally from Nigeria, and I've been here for over a decade and a half. And I'll say the first thing I learned is that when you come for an evening like this, I always advise people to turn to your right and to your left and compliment the person sitting next to you. Tell them how beautiful they look, how handsome they look. Even if you have to lie, they'll tell them something. Yeah, some of the men are already losing their hair. Tell them they have a head full of hair. If they are black men around, tell them they love their afro. They got nothing on them. You look beautiful, you look handsome. And at the end of the day, let's give ourselves a big round of applause. We all deserve it.
At this time, we're going to be having our opening prayer with our former board chair, Reverend Jongdae Park. And as Reverend Park is coming to the stage for the prayer, Shay, I know that your dad was also a pastor,
Yes,
right?
I was born and raised in the church. First 2 decades of my life before I went to college. So yeah, it's my, I'm tapping into that anointing right now.
All right, Reverend Park.
Let us pray. 하나님 아버지 감사합니다.
Dear God, we express our gratitude.
오늘 2005년 우리 도너 어드바이저와 우리 보드 멤버 그리고 우리 베이스에 대한 또 즐거운 리셉션을 가질 수 있도록 은혜 주시니 감사합니다.
We thank you for the gift of being able to celebrate with our 2025 donor advisory board members, our board members, and many of our honored guests.
우리 베이스는 하나님의 도우심과 인도하심으로 오늘날까지 참 발전하고 또 성장할 수 있도록 도와주신 것을 먼저 감사를 드립니다.
At this point, we just want to acknowledge that it is you who have led and who have supported and guided to allow faith to be able to stand and to continue its work of advancing the community.
많은 분들의 도움과 또 우리 많은 기관들 또 우리 여러 가지 모든 후원 단체들을 통해서 지금까지 도와주신 은혜를 감사드립니다.
And again, we just want to express our gratitude for so many leaders, so many partners, so many funders who have come along to stand with us.
2024년도가 가기 전에 우리가 오늘 저녁에 이런 좋은 모임을 가지고 서로 격려하며 또 사랑으로 교제할 수 있는 귀한 시간 주신 것을 감사드립니다.
And as we come to a close of 2024, we thank you for this time that we could come together to pause, to
우리
enjoy
페이스에
and to celebrate your goodness.
우리 페이스에 우리 임 회장님과 또 에리웬 우리 이사장님 그리고 모든 보드 멤버들 그리고 후원이사 여러분들 모두 또 2025년에는 축복을 많이 받게 도와주시옵소서.
And I pray just for much favor and blessings upon Nathan and Yen, all the board members, all the donor advisory board members, as well as all the partners and friends who are here in this room.
우리가 이렇게 섬기고 도우고 후원하는 일을 통해서 우리가 주님의 놀라운 기쁨과 은혜와 축복을 체험하는 저희들 되도록 도와주옵소서.
And as we serve, may we truly experience the joy, the blessing upon which you are going to give us. Thank you.
오늘도 이렇게 우리 모임을 축복해 주시고 참 기쁨의 시간, 우리 즐거운 시간 가지도록 축복해 주시고 인도하여 주옵소서.
And we invite the Spirit's presence here that this evening will be an evening of joy, of gratitude and gladness.
우리 주님께 영광을 돌리며 예수님의 이름으로 기도드리옵나이다.
And we give you all the praise. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
아멘.
Thank you. Well, I think we are about to embark on our program, and we have some really cool, awesome person who heads up our organization. Can you share with us who this person is?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome for the opening remarks the Phase Chair and Executive Officer, Mr. Edward Yang.
Come on.
Please, a round of applause. Yeah, she just wanted to introduce you. But no, please, come on.
The official portion will be later on with our County Assessor, Jeffrey Crane. Today, right now, you're playing the role of our board chair.
Yeah, when she wanted to introduce you, I just had your name, just Edward Yang. And where I come from, when you have a title like that, we make sure we mention everything, including your educational background. So if you were a Nigerian, we'll say, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with me the Phase Chair and Executive Chairman of Phase, first degree in physics, second degree in mathematics, and third degree, you're still working on it, Mr. Yang. That's what we do.
Thank you. In very traditional Chinese tradition, the way you introduce yourself is first with the master program that you went to, and then your college, and perhaps your GPA and your SAT score. We're very proud of that. So I just wanted to quickly provide a little bit of a story about why I have joined FACE and why I'm so happy for everyone to be here tonight. My journey to discovering FACE and now sitting on the chair of this wonderful organization is through advocacy. I met Capen quite some time ago through a friend of mine, Elizabeth Hahn, right over there. And for many years, she actually tried to get me to meet Capen, but we just never connected until finally, I think I was at a point in my career where it was like a fork in the road. I didn't really understand where I wanted to go, and I met her and just started talking to her about kind of having a career, being an Asian American in the county, and something just clicked between she and I. And then she brought me into this organization of hers, and I started learning about what FACE does. And much of what she does and what Faith in Community Empowerment does is it's about service to the community. Originally, it started out as a Korean-based organization. However, later on, it's really spread its wings to cover all Asian American communities. But not only that, through our work together with Hapen and myself, I introduced her to the world of the County Employees Association. And I recognize that we have quite a few employees associations out there. First, we have the LA County Asian American Employees Association. Want to say hi there? We also have the African American Employees Association. And my very good friend, Robert Meneses, leading here with the Hispanic Managers Association. So I wanted to recognize these employees associations because one of the things that we've done with FACE and these employees associations through county support with the office of Hilda Solis, and I know Tammy's out there representing the office. Hi, Tammy. And what we've done is we've sponsored home ownership fairs. And what this does is we're putting information out there to the community to teach people about how to become first-time home buyers. Many people don't recognize that they could receive low interest loans or even money just to start with down payments, or you don't even need a down payment. But how do you even get that information? And FACE has been able to provide that through its homeownership fairs, which we collaborated together as employees associations together to bring about 3 or 4 homeownership fairs, and we plan on doing more. We want to spread all across the county of LA, reach out to Orange County, Ventura County, San Bernardino County. It is something that is really critical to our organization to be able to share and nurture the value of homeownership. And so I just want to thank, again, FACE and our donor advisory board. Thank you for joining, coming out today, supporting us. Your support continues our advocacy for the community. So I really thank you very much for coming out. Sorry, I will not be doing the Korean translation. People typically helps Reverend Park do it, and unfortunately I am not Korean, and my Chinese is not that great as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Eddie Yen. Every time I go to a function, I get promoted as doctor because people feel a little uncomfortable just saying Haken. All right. Well, thank you so much, Eddie, again, for your friendship and your leadership as well. At this time, I feel like Eddie already recognized a lot of the dignitaries, but maybe I'd just like to highlight some additional individuals. As mentioned, we have our LA County Assessor Jeffrey Prang in the room, so thank you as well. And I'm not sure if the former mayor of, is it Mayor Lily Chen? Are you here in the room yet? Maybe she's on her way as well. And also just, I know that Dara Smith just recently ran for office, and she's also president of the LA County Asian Employees Association, so thank you so much. Well, I see Jessica who you'll be hearing from, but she's the second in command for the LA County Department of Educational Opportunity. I think that's the right, maybe you'll announce it officially as well. I just want to acknowledge some of our other partners. We have 2 individuals from the Jewish Federation of Los Angeles. So there you are, please stand as well, so thank you. Longtime partners. And then we also have a whole array of Korean pastors who were former chairs of the Council of Churches, as well as a president of the Korean, Ministers Association, and as such. So 우리 목사님들 여기 다, 그리고 김재열 목사님도 and I just want to acknowledge some of our other partners in the room. There's Hayana with First Citizens, Lisa with Bank of Hope, and I'm trying to see others as well. But again, we will continue to acknowledge the many partners because there's some really awesome individuals in the room, and I'm really, really grateful as well. So with that, let's go on.
All right. Once again, we hope all our guests are well relaxed and seated. We're about to show you our highlights for 2023 and 2024. What we've been doing so far, we're going to be showing some of them on the screen.
Yes, we did take a break last year. Oh, you know what, before we start, there you are, Steve. So Steve Sung-in Kang, he just recently got appointed as the commissioner for the LA City Department of Public Works, correct? So please
congratulations, can we give him a round of applause?
Again, thank you so much. Again, I might be missing some individuals, please let me know, all right?
say thank you.
All right. And I heard that because I'm getting a little old, so my vision's off. But Kelly Lobianco, who is Jessica's boss, and the head of the LA County Department of Economic Opportunity as director is here as well. So please stand for as well. So with that, at this time, I'd like to invite our next board member, Jimmy Lee, who has been a longtime friend and a fighter and champion in this space for AAPI advocacy and inclusion. He has a long history. Current position is the Chief Marketing Officer and Vice President at Delphi, but he's worked for many big companies, including also IW Group, which has been a wonderful organization advancing again for the API community. And so, Grace Yu, please stand with us as well. With that, I would like to invite Jimmy Lee.
Round of applause, please.
Thank you, APAN, and thank you everyone for being here tonight to support FACE and to support all the programs that we really have partnered with together with all of you here today and some of the folks that are not here tonight. I'm really honored to spotlight the AAPI Youth and Youth at Work Career Pathways Initiative. And for those that may not know about the program, this program really represents hope, opportunity, and the pathway to leadership for AAPI youth in LA County. This program is supported by LA County, and it's not just another internship opportunity. It's unique in the sense that it gives paid experience for AAPI young people to gain on-the-job training, develop essential leadership skills, and receive mentorship from professionals across the private sector, nonprofits, as well as the public sectors. And so a lot of the folks here may even be some of those mentors that are mentoring some of those youths going through the program. At FACE, we really understand how vital it is to be included in outreach efforts and programs like this, such as the AAPI Youth at Work Career Pathways Initiatives. As advocates for the AAPI community, we recognize the need to ensure that young AAPI individuals have access to such opportunities. And our hope is that these experiences help pave the way for future leaders and to begin to break the quote-unquote bamboo ceiling. And so it's really important for us to also highlight that this initiative is really to level the playing field. It's to recognize the context of reality. And what I mean by that is oftentimes we hear the narratives out there that basically put all AAPIs into one bucket or one, swath or cloth or story. And sometimes the stories that you hear about the AAPI community are things like they have the highest educational attainments, they have the highest household incomes. But these stories really tell only part of the true story. For example, Asian Americans, yes, that's correct. We do have the highest college graduation rates in the US, at 66% for those over the age of 25. But the most important part of that is what do they do with their degrees? And as Asian American parents, we always encourage our kids to get a college degree. And for immigrant parents, that may be kind of the end of that story. But the true fact is that even though we have the highest attainment in degrees, less than 3% of Asian Americans hold executive positions. And so another representative fact is that if you take a sector like tech, I think everyone just typically understands tech being a highly Asian, influenced industry. But even if you take the tech industry, even though 30% of the technical workforce in tech companies are represented by AAPIs, less than 10% are in senior management. And when you look into the C-suites as well as executive leadership roles, the presence of AAPI individuals is invisible. And I can attest to this fact as I've sat in many of those seats. And I'd say most of those times I'm the only person that looks like me in those seats. And so it's really important to not only give the pathways to education to our youth, but to also provide them with a program like the Youth at Work program. So while many immigrant APIs do value education as they undoubtedly should, it's not enough on its own. Real world experience, leadership skills, mentorships are really what help build a generation of leaders who can break through that barrier and drive change. And so that's why tonight we would like to extend our sincere thanks to LA County Supervisor Hilda Solis. Supervisor Solis was instrumental in helping FACE and the broader AAPI community to be included in the outreach and funding for this program. And Supervisor Solis' support, along with the dedication of Tammy Omoto Frias, who I believe is going to be who's with us here today, who's the Senior Budget Deputy at Supervisor Solis' office, has really made a tangible effort to allow us to be included in that outreach. So we're grateful for Supervisor Solis' office's support, as well as the leadership that her staff has provided in including us in this program. But just being included isn't enough. I think one of the things that Haypen mentioned is that even though we have this program, only 3% of the participants are API. So each and every one of us here today really need to do our part. If you know a youth between the age of 14 to 24 living in LA County, it's important and incumbent upon us to be able to share the program. So with that, it's my pleasure to welcome Tammy Omoto Frias to the stage to say a few words.
Thank you, Jimmy. And thank you, FACE, for having me here today. Again, my name is Tammy Omoto Frias, and I am the Senior Budget Deputy for Supervisor Hilda Solis of the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors. It is so nice to be in a room with friendly faces and county family, so thank you very much. It's my honor to join you tonight and speak on behalf of Supervisor Solis, who sends her best wishes for another successful year from FACE, and to congratulate the incoming cabinet. And I'd like to give a special shout out to your Eddie Yen, and wish him good luck this year as well in this capacity. Supervisor Solis supports the important work of FACE to further the AAPI agenda, and has long been a champion for the AAPI community. And as you may know, there are 10 million people who live in Los Angeles County, and based on our latest count, 1.5 million are AAPI. And Supervisor Solis represents about 25% of the county's AAPI population, the most of any supervisorial district. She was also a strong supporter of Measure G that LA County voters passed last month, which will expand the Board of Supervisors from 5 members to 9, which will really give a good chance to finally have an AAPI seat on the Board of Supervisors. And as former Secretary of Labor under President Barack Obama, Supervisor Solis understands the importance of work experience for our youth. But more importantly, it needs to be paid work experience, because we know that many of our young people cannot afford the luxury of unpaid internships. And we are pleased to partner with FACE on this program, Youth at Work, to engage with and encourage AAPI youth to participate. And now we look forward to seeing the exciting work of FACE and what it will deliver for the AAPI community in the upcoming year. So congratulations, and congratulations to the incoming board. And lastly, Supervisor Solis has sent some certificates for the honorees, which Haypen will provide later. So thank you very much. Congratulations.
Chance to hear from after an intern of our Youth at Work program. And so would you help introduce our intern, past intern?
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to introduce intern and he will give his testimony. Please a round of applause for Jeremiah John.
Say he was truly a pleasure. Just a beautiful heart, really bright, and really dedicated in lots of initiatives. The kind of individuals that we want to help nurture going forward. So.
All right. Before he speaks, I need to add he's a freshman, University of Southern California. Please, a round of applause.
On his way to a PhD, a 4-degree, correct? Yes, please.
Good evening, everyone, esteemed guests, board members, and supporters of FACE. As mentioned, my name is Jeremiah John, and I am a freshman at the University of Southern California studying behavioral economics and psychology. So the summer after my junior year of high school, I had the opportunity to intern with FACE through the Youth at Work program, just because I was connected through my high school, Arcadia High School in the 66 San Gabriel Valley. And it was an experience that not only shaped my professional skills, but really deepened my understanding of leadership and service. And truly, it did exactly what the program aimed to do. It put me in a real world situation with a paid internship, and it gave me the opportunity to really explore what it was like to live and to work, and to be in the real vicinity and the area of actual civic work, and it increased my awareness and my drive and passion just for civic activity and just informing myself about what is going on in the world. So during my time at FACE, I contributed to very impactful initiatives, such as helping to even research other potential outreach partners for the Youth at Work program. And that would help connect other young people like me with the similar valuable internship opportunities. And I'd say one of the most defining moments of my experience working with FACE was assisting in their response to the Supreme Court decision on affirmative action in June 2023. My task as an intern was to research and analyze its potential impact on college admissions for the Asian American community. And that was especially important because I was going into my senior year right after the change, so all of my friends with whom I've grown up with in a predominantly Asian community were going to face the repercussions or possible changes of just that change. And that experience, it gave me a front row seat to see how meaningful advocacy is informed by thoughtful research and collaboration. So I'm truly, truly thankful to Mrs. M and to FACE and to Youth at Work for all of those opportunities to do that research. And what I learned at FACE went far beyond the technical skills of managing projects and deadlines, sending mail, and answering emails. The experience taught me the value of stepping up to challenges, embracing a team-oriented mindset, and finding purpose in service. I left the internship not only with professional growth, but also with a deeper commitment to being an informed and active contributor to my community. Now, as I pursue my studies at USC, I carry those lessons of collaboration, leadership, and resilience that FACE instilled in me. I am deeply grateful to FACE and Youth at Work for the opportunity to grow both personally and professionally, and I look forward to seeing how this incredible organization will continue to empower others as it has empowered me. Thank you.
Well, again, you see Jeremy, and we could potentially forecast where he will go. Well, at this moment, we have a pleasure of having someone who started with us way back when we had our AmeriCorps Vista program, and we had our $5 million Youth at Work program. And Jessica Kim, now, as I mentioned, is now really fulfilling the dream and vision that we desired of helping young folks be able to achieve all that they have the potential to be. And so again, I'm really grateful to have Jessica Koo come back. Jessica Koo Kim, she got married since then, to come and join us and just share with us her experience. And she is leading the department with Kelly, of course, in this Youth at Work program that helps 14 to 24-year-olds be able to get 160 hours of paid internship. It's an amazing program.
Not forgetting to add a title. She's LA County's Department of Economic Opportunity. Please give a round of applause, please.
I can do this one. Wonderful. Good evening. My name is Jessica Kim, and as mentioned, I'm Chief Deputy. I'm here with my director, Kelly Lobianco. I couldn't be more pleased to hear about the impact of youth at work. It's an over $30 million investment that we do in the county. We want to move away from the notion of training and praying to get quality jobs. We want to make sure that our investments are leading to impact. And we recognize that our county is filled with hundreds of villages here in the county. And it's critically important that our Asian community has access and that we have partnerships like this so that more and more people find out about it. But we're not done yet. We are in the process of, we're going to do an evaluation of our Youth at Work program. So we hope as we do community events to solicit input, you'll participate. But if you haven't heard about our department yet, it's because we're newer. We were formed by LA County Board of Supervisors over 2 years ago to centralize both the economic and workforce services in the county into one department so we can maximize resources for impact. So our mission and vision is to create quality jobs, to help small and large and high-road employers start and grow, and to build vibrant local communities and spaces. 20 years ago, I graduated college. I'm born and raised in Los Angeles. Haven gave me my first job post-college, and I was an AmeriCorps Vista. And so I learned, and I fell into workforce development. I learned on the job, and today I manage one of the largest workforce development systems in the nation here in LA County. And so this work, the partnership, what you all have accomplished is amazing. I'm so proud to have started my career. I affectionately still call it KCC, although I know it is phase. But the work doesn't stop, and so please see our department as a partner, see myself as a partner to this community too, to help it grow. I tell my husband all the time, I'm gonna live and die in LA, and as daughter of immigrant parents that came over, I want to make LA County a better place, and so I'm proud to work in a department whose mission and vision is to accomplish that, alongside many of my LA County employees here today. So thank you and congratulations.
Can we give a bigger round of applause? We're so proud of you.
Actually, I wish I had thought about sharing the AmeriCorps Vista video. So it'll be a treat another time. Maybe we'll even send it out as well. So let's introduce our next speaker.
Yes, our next speaker for education and inclusion. Please put your hands together as we welcome Dr. Jeff Kim.
You didn't add all that, all the doctors, right?
All right, yeah, it's Dr. Jeff Kim. I don't know if he's a medical doctor or academic doctor, but he's a doctor. So when you address him, put some respect on his name. He's an educator and school board member. Round of applause for him once again.
And actually, Dr. Kim deserves quite a lot of credit in terms of, beyond all the other areas of work that he does, but he has really led in terms of bringing Korean American curriculum, not just Korean language, like one of the first probably in the country. And I think that again, identity matters, inclusion matters, and as such, again, Dr. Kim is really leading the way, and recently we were able to partner on an important area that has really pitted our community against one another, particularly the story of the LA riots, or what we call Saigu as well. And so I invited Dr. Kim to share a little bit about his work, but also again our partnership, but in a short and sweet way.
Dr. Brown, it is educational doctorate, other doctor. Okay. First of all, I had a chance to meet Hey Pin maybe less than a year ago. How many of you, like, once you meet Hey Pin, like, she becomes like your friend instantly? I definitely, yeah, let's give her a hand. It was that kind of experience for me, and I go, wow, this is a person that's just filled with so much wisdom and compassion. So we had the opportunity to do something special. In our class, we have a saying. In order for the tree to grow tall, you have to know your roots. And Hey Pin is so understanding of the roots in our community, and so we together created a podcast called The Roots of Saigu. Saibu is a Korean word meaning 429 and refers to what happened 33 years ago, the LA riots and LA civil unrest. And we went through a journey of why we would even want to remember. What were the trigger points? Reconciliation and forgiveness. We talked about the C2 leadership and all the partnerships that have formed, and we talked about the solidarity on how to bring together and healing together. Hayden shared her stories in this 5-episode podcast, which will be used for our Korean American Studies course, first in the United States. So appreciative of Hayden's wisdom. It's going to be used in this Korean American Studies course, available to everybody, of course. She is helping us to not only know our roots, but I believe in knowing our roots, we're going to see a lot of fruit for Korean Americans and all Americans. Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Kim. At this time, we're going to do a drawing. Remember the yellow tickets? We need those yellow tickets. All right. So I want you guys to remember all the people that you met, that you exchanged information. So how we're going to do it, so we're going to pull one, we're going to read it, okay? And then whoever guesses first who that person was or is will be the winner. So the person who was picked will get a $20 DoorDash, but the second person who guessed it, the first person who guessed it, will also, and Jay, I'm going to need your eyes, right,
Okay.
to determine who was the first, right, to do that.
All right.
Okay?
We have more?
We have competition in the room right now.
Okay. Am I picking?
You are picking.
Okay.
Right?
Are we ready?
Well,
Okay.
hold on,
People
hold
still
on.
want, okay, right. We'll wait.
Right. So again, you guys, just like, if you don't know, just point to someone. You might get lucky, right? So again, Sherry and others, like, determine who was the first. Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, may we have your attention, please? As I make the first drawing this evening, and we are about to be, okay, we're still getting more. Any more? All right, the first drawing tonight. Are we ready?
I enjoy taking landscape photos.
I enjoy taking landscape photos.
Okay, we're gonna do it in 10 seconds, so just point to someone. Okay, you ready?
All right.
Alex Kim. Well, I think
Alex Kim.
yes. So it's someone else. Okay, we'll give it
Alex Kim is absolutely wrong.
Okay, anyone else?
Anyone else? The unique fact about this person is I enjoy taking landscape photos.
Okay, what's the answer? Who is it?
Sharon Kim.
That's correct.
Sharon Kim is correct. Please come forward to get your prize. Can we give them a round of applause, please?
Okay, so the winner and the person who guessed both gets the prize. Okay? All right. So we're gonna give the $20.
It's my wife.
Sharon Kim is correct.
So because, well, that's that's kind of cheating as a pastor, but you know what? On this one, we won't allow it. So Sharon Kim, where are you? And Sharon actually was my college roommate, and Pastor David Kim and Sharon Kim are both leading a wonderful ministry. All right. So at this time, I'd like to invite. So continue, right? Please. Oh my God! It just things keep happening. All right. At this time, we'd like to invite JD, or Justin Davis, our board member, and also our chair of our Housing Advisory Council, to share a little bit about our housing program.
All right, thank you. It's hard to follow. Winning money. I just wanted to, I guess I'll start out with just like Eddie did, with how I first got involved with FACE. It was actually through my bank that I wanted to do more with homeownership, and my bank recommended I meet with Hayden. She said, hey, we're having a homeownership fair this weekend, why don't you come out? And so I brought my wife out, and we had just closed on our first condo, and I spent the next 2 hours getting elbowed. Did you know about that? Did we do that? Did you do that? And I realized how important it is, the stuff that the FACE does with connections and the home ownership, the fairs, the home buyer education, the counseling, and then when people get in trouble with our foreclosure counseling as well. So I dove in, and I'm really, really proud to be a part of the housing committee. We've helped over 15,000 individuals on their homeownership journey, and it's really a focus for us to improve homeownership in communities of color, and in all communities of color, but specifically one of the things that we also focus on is Asian communities. Now, oftentimes there's no voice for the Asians. If you aggregate them together, they have the second highest homeownership rate. But when you disaggregate and you have all of the subgroups broken out, you can see there's just a wide variety, a variation between homeownership rates within the Asian community. And that's something that we try to highlight often as we go about doing our homeownership information. And so at this time, I also, if we go to the second slide, I wanted to take a moment to really thank those individuals that are instructors for us on our homebuyer education. This is one of the ways I started after that first homeownership fair. You come in and you teach people, on these Saturdays, you spend 8 hours teaching various classes on everything from managing a budget, what's a mortgage, who are the players in closing your mortgage, and who's all involved in getting that. So I just wanted to take a minute and thank all the individuals who are on this list here. You've really made an important impact on people's education and how to get into a home. So thank you very much.
Katie, at this time, we have someone very critical who plays a critical role on home ownership. And he flew all the way from Washington, D.C. to join us tonight. He has a illustrious career, currently with Freddie Mac as the, let me read this here, Vice President of Single Family Affordable Housing Strategy and Policy of Single Family Acquisition Division. That's quite a long name, title, with Freddie Mac, but he also formerly served at the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, particularly launching the Homeownership Counseling Department work, as well as with FHA. And so again, I'd like to just welcome Nate Schultz to come to the stage. We'd like to thank him coming all the way over here, and particularly Freddie Mac's key partnership in joining us. The irony of this is that when we first started, because the AAPI community or Korean community was not on anyone's radar, we had reached out to all these potential partners who had participated in the homeownership fair, and we were told, oh, we don't participate in homeownership fairs, even though we saw them the prior month. But, they say, never take no for an answer. No doesn't mean a permanent no, and lo and behold, all these partnerships that we've been able to enjoy. So thank you, Nate. Please come.
Thank you. When Hayden asked if I would come speak and said there was going to be a comedian tonight, my first thought was, I really hope I'm not after the comedian. So thank you for that, because I would not follow that act well. But seriously, thank you for the introduction, Hayden, and thank you for the opportunity to be here. I'm delighted to be here representing Freddie Mac to celebrate the work that FACE has done, both in this community and beyond. Freddie Mac has had a long and fruitful relationship with FACE. We've been engaged with them for quite some time. And the work that FACE has done and the relationship we have has extended the reach and the benefit of our programs and allowed us to serve populations we otherwise maybe would not have reached. So we appreciate very much the work that's done and are so pleased to be here to celebrate it tonight. Over its history, Freddie Mac has provided $2.4 trillion in mortgage financing for 10.6 million Californians. We have helped hundreds of thousands of Californians become first-time homebuyers, and since 2012, our programs have helped more than 200,000 California homeowners who are struggling to meet their mortgage obligations keep their homes. And while we're proud of the work that we've done here, we know that none of it is possible without our partners who are working with consumers on the ground in the communities we seek to serve. Those are the folks that are raising awareness about the benefits and the opportunities of homeownership and preparing people so that they can begin their road towards homeownership. They're providing financial education and housing counseling that equips people to be successful as homeowners. And they're also providing ongoing assistance to homeowners when they encounter difficulties so that they can maintain homeownership for the long term. FACE does all of these things that I just mentioned and has been doing them for a long time and successfully. Freddie Mac's been a partner in FACE's homeownership fairs since their inception. These events have raised awareness about options and opportunities for homeownership, and thousands of people have started their journey towards becoming homeowners at those events. Yes, very much so. Additionally, FACE has been a huge partner for us in our housing counseling and higher education sector. So it was FACE was one of the only a handful, I believe, of agencies, housing counseling agencies from the Asian community that were recipients of the National Foreclosure Mitigation Counseling Program grants following the Great Financial Crisis. During that same period, FACE served as a borrower help center, assisting Freddie Mac homeowners, or homeowners with Freddie Mac loans, who had encountered difficulties so that they could keep their homes. Because of their work in foreclosure mitigation, more than $93 million in mortgages have avoided foreclosure. And more recently, FACE has been instrumental in our efforts to enhance our Credit Smart suite of financial education products. They provided translation and content assistance, as well as ensuring that this tool would be effective for Korean and other Asian audiences. But I also want to draw attention not just to the work that FACE has done related to homeownership, but also their efforts to advocate on behalf of the API community. FACE and Haven have been strong and effective advocates for the community, ensuring that Freddie Mac and the broader housing industry are aware of the unique and often hidden challenges faced by this community. Haven sits on our Affordable Housing Advisory Council and joined us in our most recent convening of that group for a discussion of the needs and challenges faced by A and HPI households who are seeking to become homeowners. She's done tremendous work educating housing finance and policy leaders on the importance of disaggregating AAPI economic and housing data so that we can understand the real challenges that are faced by the varying groups in that population. Yeah. And this is so important to dispelling the model minority myth that has really handicapped our ability to truly serve the breadth of this population. We know that many Asian American households struggle to gain the security and stability of homeownership. And homeownership rates for some subgroups lag behind white households by troubling amounts. We have to work to resolve these persistent disparities so that more hardworking families are able to get a foot in the door and become homeowners and able to pass those benefits on to their children and grandchildren. FACE's efforts in this area are so vital. In short, FACE is a crucial partner to Freddie Mac as we seek to execute on our mission, which is to provide liquidity, stability, and affordability to the housing market through all economic conditions and in all parts of the country. Strong partnerships like the one that we have with FACE are essential because no single organization can solve the housing challenges that face our country and our individual communities. Freddie Mac looks forward to continuing to build on the relationship that we've already established and to continue expanding the awareness, access, and sustainability of homeownership. We celebrate the work that FACE has done to date and salute all of you in making it possible. I thank you again for the privilege of being with you tonight. I've really enjoyed all of the work that we've talked about here. The work with youth alone would be enough to celebrate. Having started in workforce development myself, I really value that work. Having worked with at-risk youth, I value the work and the opportunities that are created by giving kids a job and giving them access to opportunities and to career fields they may not otherwise have been familiar with. So you're all speaking my language. It's a privilege to be with you. We value FACE and their partnership so much, and we seek to be a good partner as we expand the opportunities and access to homeownership. So thank you.
Thank you.
Could you elaborate on the commitment from Freddie Mac to make AAPI community a priority? Just a second.
Yeah, so we have an equitable housing finance plan that we submit to our regulator, the Federal Housing Finance Agency, that delineates our commitments to expand equity in the housing finance sector. In our most recent plan that was just published, we committed to prioritize targeting the AAPI community in this iteration of the plan. So we realize there's a lot of work to be done across the sector. All minority groups lag behind white households in terms of their homeownership rate. And so much of the focus in recent years, and rightfully so, to some degree, has been on African American and Latino households. But in the process of focusing where there was the greatest need and most obvious need, we've left behind some other sectors. And we feel like it's time to rectify that and to work together with FACE and with other partners to make sure that we're addressing the totality of the housing and homeownership needs.
Thank you, Nate. Thank you for listening to our advocacy. 2 years ago, when they announced their equitable housing financing plan, and Freddie Mac was not the only guilty one, Fannie Mae as well, we noticed that the AAPI community was left out, and we brought the White House, we brought the FHA, we brought our Asian friends, but we brought the non-Asian ally friends to come into the room. And we showed up, and I'm so grateful that they did listen. And so again, I just want to thank everyone in this room who are both Asian and non-Asian that we have come this far because of your partnership and coming and standing in solidarity. So
Thank you so much, thank you.
And with that, we could help so many people, and not just Asians, but really non-Asians as well. We share the love. And so, could you share?
We have a client testimony. We are going to play the video, and I think we're also privileged to have
and she's here in
she's
person.
here present. So please, ladies and gentlemen, watch the video for Octavia McLean.
See how much money, little money she had to bring to the table.
Yes, I would like that too. You know?
I am Octavia McLean, and this is my new home. I'm a single woman, I'm a single mom. Everybody tells you you can't own in California, and I was determined to do it. I wanted to do it for my son before he went to college. With rent prices constantly increasing, I didn't want my son going into that battle. I just so happened to see a banner about FACE. I went there, it was packed, the line was wrapped around the building. I heard the presentation and I was like, I'm doing this. The 8-hour home buyers program was extremely informational. We walked away with a wealth of information. Then meeting with the counselors, one-on-one, having someone really go through your credit report with you, your finances with you. I found my loan officer through FACE. I found my realtor because of FACE. It was a seamless process, and I became a homeowner because of FACE. Thank you guys.
All right, dreams do come true.
That's right. So do you see that? How much money did she bring to the table? I can't see it.
I can do that right now. Can I do that right now? So, ladies and gentlemen, I think we have in our midst.
I believe so. I can't tell right now. Is Octavia in the room?
Oh, there she is.
All right, woo! Come
All
to
right.
the stage.
Newest homeowner in LA, Octavia McLean. Sorry. Homeowner Octavia McLean. All right, yeah, let's do that.
Please come to the stage. So congratulations. Woo! You look nice and sexy too. So could you just share a little bit of, what was a barrier before you came to our organization in terms of, I'm sure you were thinking, everyone thinks, oh, I want to become a homeowner, but they don't really put it into action, right? So what was the initial barrier before, what was it that we were able to help and what was that barrier?
Someone willing to work with a first-time home buyer that didn't have I didn't have $150,000 to bring to the table. And it seemed like people just dismissed me because I didn't have that. So I had looked into it several times and spoke with several loan officers, but just because I didn't have that large amount of money to just throw at home, they a lot of times didn't call me back.
Yes, it's a very cruel world out there, but thankfully, as you'll see, there are many people in the city, in the state, and the county who really are committed with their financial lenders or our home education instructors, etc. So I'm wondering, how much assistance did you get?
Over $260,000.
And how much money did you have to bring to the table?
$4,662.
Oh. So I know that did you just step into the fair? Like you just saw a banner, or how did you hear about our fair?
So I work for LA County, and LA County had a banner on the employee portal. And I was just like, I'm just gonna go to this fair and see what it's about and see if anybody there can help me. And I did, and that's where I met you guys. And I took the 8-hour home buyers course, and then I heard Michelle Scott speak in my home buyers course, and I was like, that's my loan officer. I just know it is. Never met her before, but I just heard her speak, and I just knew that was my loan officer, so then I connected with her. But that was in August of 2023. I didn't close on my home until August of 2024.
1 year. But you know what, that's still pretty good. How many years did you try to buy before you coming to Face?
2 years.
2 years, right? So dream come true.
Yes.
One last thing, I know that you did it for your son.
Yes.
How is your son enjoying this space?
He loves it, but he doesn't really leave his room.
I guess there's pros and cons to everything. But again, just congratulations. Thank you for watching.
Congratulations.
And I do want to do a shout out to our another home buyer. So Laura, are you in the room? We just want to do a shout out. He also had a fantastic deal. Are you in the room? Just
Laura
okay,
Guzman.
stand and just acknowledge. I know that so we have some really awesome financial partners, and they will be acknowledged a little bit later on today, but they have really just done some great. And so Michelle Scott with City National Bank and Laura Guzman with our First Citizens Bank, who will be honoring a little bit later on. So again, one of many really strong financial partners. Before we go on, I do want to acknowledge there's Mike Eng in the room. And then also Cindy Wu as well. So thank you for coming and joining us. All right, where are we? Are we almost to the finish line? Oh my gosh.
We're making progress.
You are the man of the hour.
Oh,
This is it. This is it. Okay, all right. So, I'm going to do an official background.
Okay.
See his handsome face? Before he was a comedian, he was a model. And before that, also, he was a TV show host. He came to America, and immigrant life is really hard. But he grew up in a family where everyone was really funny, especially his dad. And he thought, you know what? I'm going to go for it. And lo and behold, you know what? He knows how to throw his own party. He did it, he moved forward, and Netflix decided to pick him up, and he was featured in Africa.
Yes.
Is that right? And now, yes, Netflix Africa, and now he just recently did another show that we're praying and counting that Netflix will pick that up as well.
I'm making Netflix global.
That's right. So with that, we are going to hear and enjoy his comedy, and then we will serve dinner. So with that, let's see. Please help me welcome our honorable
Thank you.
J.E. Brown.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. I know. Well, first and foremost, I would like to congratulate the new homeowners. Who knew that the money some people spend on going on vacation can turn you into a homeowner in LA, you know? So please, a round of applause for Faith again. Mind-blowing. You know, when you hear something so good, I don't even feel like going back to my home anymore, you know? I just want to leave here and go to my own new home too. Can you guys make that happen tonight? All right, that's what I want. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is J.E. Brown. I'm a Nigerian American. I'm a comedian. That means I'm expected to make you laugh. But I must warn you, if after everything I've said tonight, you are not laughing, it is not because I'm not funny, it is because whatever you're going through is more than my talent, okay? So whatever you are, just loosen up and try to get the humor in what I'm talking about. You see, sometimes as Americans, I see that, you know, we take a lot of things for granted. Like, I come from a country where we have one time zone. So with that mind, I came to America. Now, I learned it in geography, that there are different time zones in America. But you know, when you've been traveling for 3 days, you don't remember all that. So I landed, you know, from Lagos to Amsterdam, Amsterdam to Detroit. And I landed in Detroit and gave me a boarding pass. I said, you leave Detroit at 12, and you land in LA at 1. So in my mind, that was a 1 hour flight. And we kept flying and flying, and as an immigrant, I'm like, I think I am on the wrong aeroplane. So confidently, I called it flight attendant. I'm like, excuse me. I said, what, how can I help you? I said, I am on the wrong plane. I said, why would you think that? I said, because we have not landed. And I asked her, why have we not landed? I said, because we're still flying. I said, really? My boarding pass says 12 to 1. Why have we not landed? We have been flying for over 2 hours. He said, you ever heard about the 3-hour time difference? I said, why? He said, because America is big. We have 3 different time zones. I said, so when are we landing? He said, 4 o'clock East Coast time, that is 1 o'clock in LA or something. So you can imagine someone who's been flying for 2-3 days. I was hungry, I could see my ancestors. And that is something Americans need to understand. You see, as an immigrant, I remember when Mr. Lee came, you know, when he made his speech, he added proverbs. You see, as Africans or as immigrants, we can't talk without putting proverbs. And I have kids now who are like teenagers and sometimes they don't understand my proverbs. You know, because African proverbs sometimes don't make sense to you. When you do something, you will say, it is not your fault. You see, when the squirrel go up on the tree and drop whatever panel is in the mouth, it will grow and become a tree. So I was like, that, what does that even mean? I said, even me, I don't know. But the most important thing is I'm trying to pass a message to you. And my kids are so spoiled. I just feel my kids are spoiled. Because you see, there are some things they complain about that I don't suffer from. Like there are some American diseases that as an African, I can never suffer from. Number 1, bulimia. If you don't know what bulimia is, that is eating and forcing the food out. That can only happen when you have excess food. Where I come from, you struggle to get the food. So when I eat the food, I push it down with water. And I sit on my booty so that the food don't go out, you know? So I don't understand why someone here would waste food. Another thing people suffer here that I can't suffer from is sleeplessness, insomnia. Like, how do you sleep in an air-conditioned room with a soft bed and you are having insomnia? Let me tell you, where we come from, we sleep on our feet. Like, I can stand here and just easy. I didn't know that was a blessing until I came to America. I said, people are like, I can't sleep, I can't sleep, I can't sleep. Brother, the moment I go into an air-conditioned room, I am gone. So you can imagine, like, what is wrong here? And I realized that, do you know that when Americans are depressed, they eat. They call it stress eating. I am depressed because there is no food. I'm like, what is wrong with you? When I am eating, there's no more depression. So they say they have stress eating. I'm like, wow. And America is so rich that people have what we call food allergies. Now let you understand something. You can only have food allergies when you have excess food. Now, you can only have food allergies when you have choices. In my own way, the allergies was part of my meal. I can eat allergies for breakfast, allergies for lunch, allergies for dinner. Actually, the allergy is afraid of me. Because I say, hey, allergy, come right here. I didn't even know I was lactose intolerant until I came to America. Because when I drink milk in America, in Nigeria, my stomach will pop. I'm like, oh my God, it is working. I didn't know I was dying. So you can imagine my shock coming to America and I realized that, wow, okay, I'm lactose intolerant. I'm like, well, I couldn't afford that in Africa. And I also love American romance. I love how people here, soft words. But what baffles me is the fact that American women love flowers. And I don't understand why I have to spend $20 to buy a bouquet of roses that you're going to put in your nose, and that's it. I hope you know that. I don't know if you guys have seen that TV commercial where $5 can feed 5 children for 5 days. So you can multiply $5 in 4 places, that's $20. So now you can calculate how many kids that can feed for 5 days. So let me tell you, as an African, I do not invest in vegetables I can eat. So rather than buying a bouquet of roses, I'll buy a bouquet of spinach. You sniff it and cook it. That is more beneficial to me. Those kind of romance, I don't do it. Now, another romance I don't do as an African that Americans love, you guys like going for a walk. Like, honey, let's go for a walk. I'm like, have you not heard of African students walking 10 miles to school every day? And 10 miles back? I am tired of walking. I don't find walking romantic. To me, that's traumatic. I've been walking all my life. Even coming to America, I have to walk half of the way down here. I'm tired of walking. And let me tell you, America, this is how I know America is really blessed. This is the only country where beggars have choices. Every other place in the world, beggars have no choice. A beggar tells you, give me $1, you give the beggar $1, they say, thank you. I was at McDonald's. This dude said, can I have a burger? I said, okay, I'll buy you a burger. He said, I'm vegan. I'm like, you have choices? You're vegan? Oh, my brother, you are not hungry. When you're hungry, you eat whatever I give to you. That's the beauty of America. And another thing here is that, you see, the government takes care of people's lives so much that sometimes it looks like people don't even care about their lives. The amount of time I hear people go on skyscrapers and say, hello, I'm going to jump. And someone will come to beg you not to jump. Are you serious? Where I come from, we are overpopulated. So if you want to jump, we will help you to push you. If you say, hello, I want to jump, I say, wait, move faster, we are coming to push you. Here, people come to beg you not to jump. In my country, the only person that we found that wanted to commit suicide by hanging himself, when we found it, the rope was around his waist. We're like, what are you trying to do? He said, I'm trying to hang myself. I was like, put it around your neck. He said, I tried, I nearly died. I'm like, nigga, you're not ready to die. Put it around your neck. We love our lives so much. And this is how I know. If someone comes here now and says, everybody on your feet, you will hear husband says, please don't shoot my wife. I'm here. And he will face his wife, honey, I'm going to take this bullet for you. If I don't make it, let the children know I love them. And he will take the bullet. Where I come from. When somebody comes like that, everybody on the floor. Before my wife turns, I'm already at the door. I should say, honey, wait for me. I'm like, no. If they kill 2 of us, who will take care of the children? I said, don't worry, I'm going to let the children know you died for all of us. We don't do that kind of romance. And another thing in America, your pets. I was shocked to find out that pets have their own food. In my country, Pets eat our leftovers. No, sorry. Pets eat when there's leftover. Pets have to look for their own food. And in some cases, pets bring food for us. I can tell my dog, yo, go get me some food. So, whoa, go steal some food then. But in America, pets even have names. They are regarded as members of the family. I was shocked. My neighbor said, come meet James. I'm like, James? I thought that was his son. And he bent, I was like, that's James. I'm like, that's an animal. He said, yes, that's my son. I said, no, that's an animal. That's not a member of your family. He said, no, that's a member of our family. I was shocked to find that James has a sweater for the cold season. I have brothers who don't have clothes to wear. I said, give me that sweater, let me send it to Africa. But America is really the lack of opportunity. Let's give a round of applause for, what's going on right now. And look at that. They care so much about you that, their face is looking for ways to get people homes, to buy homes, to turn renters to homeowners, where some of us still live on trees. You gotta get me one so that I'll move out of the trees. Because I live on trees here. That's my excuse. I live in a tree, so you need to get me some home. So ladies and gentlemen, please a round of applause for Faith, please.
One more round of applause to Jamie.
Thank you.
And we're going to do one more drawing, and then you will be released to go and have some great food. Come back, though, within 30 minutes so that we could get out of here. We have a whole bunch of great people to honor as well. So now that you've learned how to play the game, right? Just point to someone if you don't know, right?
Yes, and for this next one, I'm adding a gift. You are adding a $20 gift card, right?
Yes.
And I'm going to add a 2024 iPhone charger. Just use it to charge your phone, okay? Yeah, I'll give you my charger. Yeah. 2024 model. Okay, all right.
It says.
This person can lion dance.
Who can lion dance?
Can lion dance. Now we don't know what lion.
L-I-O-N, like lion dance. Like
Lion dance.
Yeah, like New Year, Chinese dragon.
Oh, okay. I thought it was lion like an animal.
Just guess someone. Someone guess my king. No.
My king is almost correct, not correct. Can lion dance. Lion dance. L-I-N-O-N. Repeat another one.
Peter? Yes, who said that?
Who said Peter? Oh, Peter. Okay, well, I want to see the lion dance, please. Can we have Peter here, please? Whoever guessed A and Peter. Peter, we need you to do some lion dance. Give Peter a big round. Is that him? Peter, is that you? Okay, we want to see the lion dance.
Oh, not me.
Yeah, Peter. Woo, Peter. We are curious about this lion dance. Lion dance. Can you show us what the lion dance is?
Lion dance is the typical lion dance during the Lunar New Year. You see quite a bit.
Use the microphone.
Usually the lion dance is with two people, and usually you see it during the Lunar New Year with the drums, the gongs, and so forth. And we usually do that to bring good luck and prosperity for the new year. So when I was a bit younger, I did that for over 10 years.
Congratulations, and Peter also helped us with our Youth at Work program. Thank you, and shout out to Elizabeth, who also has been connecting.
So Peter, you're saying you can't do it anymore. That's what you're saying. Oh, okay, all right. So lion dance is for young people under the age of 25. Okay. So if you're over 25, make sure there's an ambulance close by before you do the lion dance. That's what we're saying.
All right, I know this is the moment you guys have been waiting for, dinner. We have some great Korean buffet food, and so So right.
We will now proceed with our program as scheduled. We hope that everybody enjoyed their meal and welcome back. Can we give ourselves a big round of applause if you had something to eat? A round of applause if you had something to eat. Okay, so only 10 people had something to eat. Can we have a round of applause if you had something to eat and you enjoyed the dinner? Thank you. Thank you very much. We are back and we would like to proceed with our program. And we would like to introduce our next speaker. Is the LA County Assessor. Please, a round of applause for Jeffrey Pram.
Go tax collector!
We wanted to honor Eddie Yen, and I did ask Eddie, who should introduce you? And he said, the assessor, Jeffrey Pang, who's been a mentor and someone who's really been a great supporter for all his journey, and especially also his recent appointment. And so with that, it is our honor to have a wonderful friend and leader, LA County Assessor, Jeffrey Pang, join us.
Thank you very much. First, as Eddie was trying to think of who could really bring some life into this evening's event, he said, I know, the County Property Tax Assessor. Although he told me I was his second choice, but the Mosquito Commissioner wasn't available. But I did want to say what a pleasure it is to be here this evening, particularly to be with my good friend Hapen. I think everybody knows what a force of nature that Hapen is in the community, but she's more than that just in the faith community, in the AAPI community. She is one of the leading civic voices in Los Angeles County. She's a friend and a mentor to me, as well as dozens of other elected and civic leaders, and it's a real pleasure to be able to be here today and to partner with FACE and all their activities over the last 10 years. I'm grateful for the opportunity to introduce a truly exceptional person, Eddie Yen, a former employee of mine, and somebody who's really grown to be a really good friend. If you've never had the privilege of working with Eddie like I have, I'll tell you how extraordinary that he is. Eddie rose through the ranks of county government rather briskly, and he's excelled in a way that has been recognized in every corner of the county where he's worked. He started off as an attorney. I think he went to, was it UCLA Law School or USC? One of those USCs. I get those colleges mixed up. When I first was elected 10 years ago, I brought him into my office first as my general counsel, and he was so talented. He said we got to use him more, so we actually gave him operational responsibilities within my office, and then just hired him outright because county council was charging me too much money. He was the director of assessor operations. He was innovative. He was creative. He actually changed. For those of you who work for the county, you know how it can be that there's the motto that we've always done it this way. They're in a rut, and it's really difficult at times to get government to add innovation and creativity in the way we do things. But that's what Eddie's made out of. He turned around the division he was responsible for, increased efficiency, increased morale, made our department much more productive, was really a stellar manager, and he learned faster than anybody else I've ever seen in a position of responsibility. He had a number of different charges at that time. He was so good at his job that another department saw him and stole him away. He was hired as a deputy executive officer and was not there very long when the Board of Supervisors saw him and said, this guy should be our executive officer. I did want to say something about that though, because I don't want you to be confused. LA County has a chief executive officer and an executive officer. That is done intentionally for optimal public confusion. The chief executive officer is really the head honcho who does the day-to-day stuff. Eddie is the head honcho of the Board of Supervisors. He's the executive officer of the Board of Supervisors. He's responsible for keeping them on track, making sure their agenda is assembled. And he was, after just 2 years there working as deputy, the Board of Supervisors selected him to be the executive officer, and he's done extraordinary work in the few months that he's been there. And I think everybody, myself included, are looking forward to his special brand of leadership and creativity that he's applied to everything else he has done in his career. What also is amazing about Eddie is that he's got a job that could probably consume his day for 14, 16 hours a day, and it probably does. But he still finds time for his family. He still finds time to give back to the community. And certainly as the president of the FACE board is a tremendous amount of work. It's really important work, but Eddie gives his all to community service as well. I'm really delighted to be able to be here today to recognize Eddie for his service to FACE, to the community, to LA County government, and to thank him for his leadership and to introduce him all to you as our next speaker. So please join with me in acknowledging and thanking Eddie for his leadership and dedication to the community. I brought a couple certificates. There's many people here I want to be honored who got one. You may recognize this as a property tax discount card. Send that with your tax bill to the tax collector and see if they give you a break.
Jeff, I didn't realize you were such a comedian. Jamie, I think you have some competition here. Yes, I couldn't say so funny. At this time, we would like to present to Eddie, and you please stay here, this plaque, Your Light Shines, Trailblazer Award for your leadership and sacrifice to public service, commitment to uniting communities, and achievement in breaking barriers. We present to you Edward Yen, the Trailblazer Award.
Once might be a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause.
Where's the other microphone? Great. Should we put that aside? All right. So, Eddie, we just wanted to take this pause to really just learn a little bit about your journey. So again, congratulations. I know that it wasn't easy, and again, to achieve this. Could you just tell us a little bit about your journey to where you came today, where you are today?
Well, let me first start by saying that Jeff told me that we shouldn't be able to do this fireside chat here because there's no fire. Anyways, so I would say, my current journey and where I arrived, where I really learned a lot about public service and what can be done, I really have to give my old boss, Jeff Crane, the credit. Working for, well, I heard of, please applaud for Jeff Crane. Jeff really taught me about what public service meant in government. When you're working in government as a bureaucrat, as a government employee, you kind of just, you do your job, you do your work, you kind of think, you have an idea of what you need to do. But I've never worked for an elected before, and Jeff was the first elected person I ever met, ever worked for him. And what I learned from him was about the passion of doing what's right for the people in the community. He would make comments about how we do things in government was inefficient and like just to use common sense. And when you work in a bureaucratic agency, sometimes it's just about rules, like following guidelines. But what's so exciting about being able to work for someone who's elected and then who has a passion for public service is that you get to use that and now that passion drives you. So I really have to give Jeff a lot of credit for really bringing me down this road of even having the courage to work for 5 electeds, and to be in that position, and it really just started with Jeff. So
Thank
Jeff.
you. And it's rare to have that combo, and which I think you have as well. I know that you're really passionate. I think we connected because of our passion in terms of, again, empowering communities, but also for API inclusion, for which a lot of times, even at the county level, our community continues to be left out. So just elaborate a little bit about what opened your eyes and your work in this space.
I think I don't think you could really understand AAPI journey without really especially Asian American Pacific Islander journey. I don't think you could really understand that without understanding the African American civil rights journey. And without understanding that, you really can't understand where we come from in this country, how we have to get and really achieve more equity and equality and opportunity. So I would say the journey started when, I think like many typical Asian Americans, you put your head down, you just start working. You keep working, you get to a certain level, you hit that proverbial bamboo ceiling, and then you kind of just question, am I just not good enough? I think I got to that point, at that point I probably met you, then started learning a little bit more what you did, understanding maybe how faith plays a part into your journey. Then just started figuring out, okay, I think I need to start talking about how there weren't really as many opportunities for Asian Americans. And then one day I was able to get a meeting with some folks here, like Tammy from the 1st District, and her Chief Deputy, Cindy Chen. We had a meeting. And I kind of gave them some numbers, told them, hey, there's quite a few Asian American employees in the county.
20,000.
20,000. We don't really have I don't see a lot of executives and managers. Just kind of giving them this data and information. I didn't mean to do anything with it, but for just to kind of raise awareness. And something that Cindy told me that day really resonated and really stuck with me. And she just said one word. She said advocacy. And I didn't really understand what that meant. But as I kind of started thinking about it, spoke to a lot of people, I think what I realized was in order to justify for more, in order to fight for more, you have to advocate for your community. And then when you really start looking into the African American community, the civil rights fight, Cesar Chavez with the farm workers' rights, what you realize is you have to fight for it. You can't just expect it to just come. And I started looking around, like, are there Asian American leaders that I could, kind of seek mentorship or learn from? And then when you start really looking at it, you find out you have people like Mike Yang and Judith Chu, and what they did in Monterey Park and fighting for language. I was living in Monterey Park during part of that time when there was such a fight against Chinese language. And that's kind of when I realized we actually need to advocate, but then I kind of figured out, what does that mean to advocate? And I started going down this road of, well, I'm part of this Asian American Employees Association, and now the word advocacy has been thrown my way. What does it mean by advocacy? So we realized we needed to start working with other community organizations. We started collaborating with a lot of our other employees associations, like the Hispanic Managers Association, the African American Employees Association, as well as the many Asian American Employees Associations that were in the county. And we started building these collaborative events and realizing that we were learning from each other. And by collaborating, that was a form of advocacy as well. So it's this kind of this journey of learning about yourself, learning about society, learning about how things happen. That's what resonated for me. Now I'm kind of in this space where I understand
in order to advocate, you got to learn, you got to build relationships, and then what comes of it is this opportunity for, I guess, equality and opportunity for all.
I think you already answered my next question, which was about uniting communities. And I do want to just give a big shout out to you. I know that our recent homeownership fairs, where we had over 1,000 people come in each of our recent fairs, it was in part our partnership with the Ethnic Employees Association, who will be honoring tonight. And you know, I think it was at our homeownership fair that all three associations came together. And again, a big shout out to you.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, we have to give a shout out to the people out there. You know, you have Delora Ellis-Gant, you have Robert Meneses. I mean, without leaders like them and collaborating and working together, working with each other, we would not have been able to do it. I mean, we know, like, the first couple of the homeownership fairs, the African American Employees Association, they balled out, right? I mean, they put so much effort into. I mean, you guys, Delora, Tara, you guys put it out there. It was so great. The amount of people was, the first one was Carson, and then we had the one on
Hawthorne.
Hawthorne first. There was Hawthorne first, then we got Carson, and then we had
Koreatown as well.
Koreatown. It was just amazing to see. We had a church full of people all there learning about how to be a homeowner. There was like, what, 1,000 people in the church? I mean,
Yes.
praise to homeownership.
Well, we're going to close now, but you know, I think at the end of the day, our personal support is so important. Our faith is also very important. And I'm not sure, typical Asian parents, you know, when you say you want to work for a government versus becoming a doctor or attorney, or Nigerians, I think parents are the same, right? And so I know initially that pathway probably was like, from your parents, but I know that they really did come and support you. Could you elaborate a little bit?
Well, so I guess, I mean, for my parents, you know, when I guess I'm a lawyer by trade. But I think many Asian parents would say we prefer the doctor. So I didn't get the doctor, so I'm an attorney, and then it's kind of like, well, then I didn't get to work in the big law firm, so it's like, okay, I worked in an insurance defense firm, which was, you know, okay paid, and when I found out that working for the county and county council was about equivalent, they were actually very supportive. The truth is, because my father came in the 60s, and he actually believed in civil rights. Why? Because he landed in Atlanta, Georgia. He walked on a bus. He looked, okay, see the bus, let's say the driver's side is on the right side. He looked to his right, it was all white. He looked to the left, it was all black. And he's like going, I don't understand this. And so all he could just do is just sat in the middle. But then through his immigrant experience in the US, he learned about Martin Luther King Jr. He learned about Malcolm X. He learned about Cesar Chavez. So when I grew up, he was teaching me and telling me about that. So for me, the difference between, I guess, many Asian immigrants who are coming probably, let's say, more recently, I'm a Generation X. I'm a child in the 70s and 80s in the United States, which means I'm going through all that public school education. On top of that, I have a father, parents who came in the 60s, who then felt, may not have understood, but they felt the civil rights movement. And now reflecting back, when my dad reflects back now, he's so proud. I mean,
I see that. We are also very proud of you. And at this point, I would like to ask if all the pastors could stand and then give a prayer of blessing for Eddie. Okay? Because he needs wisdom and favor to do so. And if Pastor Park could come. 잠깐 간단하게 목사님. I said very short prayer. But you guys all can, and everyone else, you know, please, one heart. Very short, but powerful prayer, right? So 목사님들 다 이렇게 해주세요. Okay? All the pastors, please.
손을 들겠습니다. 하나님 아버지,
Dear God,
에드워드 벤을 지켜주시고 인도해 주시고 축복해 주심을 감사드립니다.
we thank you and praise you that you have allowed Eddie to receive this very important position.
많은 경쟁 속에 우리 LA 지도자로 또 삼아주신 것을 감사드립니다.
Among so many people, thank you that you have lifted up Eddie to serve in this very important role.
우리 에드워드 벤의 삶 속에서 주님이 함께하시고 지켜주시고 인도하심을 늘 느끼며 하나님께 영광 돌려 살게 해 주옵소서.
And we pray that you'll be with him in such a way that he will bring honor to you.
특별히 아시안 아메리칸으로서 정말 귀한 모습들을 주변사회에 보일 수 있는 그런 리더가 되도록 축복해 주시옵소서.
And may he be that exemplary leader and also a model for many Asian Americans.
그래서 하나님이 함께하신 모든 역사를 또 만천하에 드러내게 해주시고 그의 삶 속에 언제나 기쁨과 행복이 넘치게 하여 주시옵소서.
And may he experience your full power and presence and joy.
같이 일하는 모든 분들에게 다 후원자, 협력자들이 되도록 축복하여 주시옵소서.
And may you bless all the partners, supporters who stand with them.
그래서 좋은 결과, 언제나 열매, 결실 있는 그런 일들이 되도록 축복해 주옵소서.
And may his work and efforts bear much fruit in blessing the county.
오늘 그의 모든 과정과 하나님께서 함께하심을 하나님께 영광 돌리고 또 늘 우리 애를 격려하는 우리 모두가 되도록 도와주옵소서.
And we just praise you. May this time be again a one that honors you and glorifies you, and that all of us can continue to encourage Eddie.
건강과 지혜와 은혜로 함께해 주옵소서.
And may you bless him with health as well as wisdom.
예수님의 이름으로 축복하며 기도드립니다.
In Jesus' name we pray and we bless him. Amen.
Let's say 감사합니다.
All right. At this time, we are going to present our honorees, right? The moment has come. Okay. Do we need another microphone? All right. So,
can we once again put our hands together for Mr. Eddie Yan, please? And just like the prayers, we wish you good luck with this new assignment that you have. So our first honoree tonight is our Corporate Partner Award. It is for First Citizens Bank, and it is represented by my West African brother from the Black Stars of Ghana, Mr. Eric Kofi Asiedu.
just a quick word. First Citizens has been such an awesome partner, and we did have a relationship with them, but I know that it was Eric's presence and guidance that has led our partnership to grow in a magnificent way, whether it's in homeownership or our C2 Leadership Institute. So with that, we would like to, Your Light Shines Corporate Partner Award for your generous investment and partnership in FACE's work of creating pathways for families to achieve homeownership and empowering faith leaders through our C2 Leadership Institute. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Jeffrey, please. Maybe Eddie.
A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, thank you very much. And before I get started, another round of applause for my good friend Eddie. Eddie, great job. Congratulations again, Eddie. Wishing you all the best in your new journey. So, I've been thinking about telling a joke before I get off the stage. And you remember when Sergi asked about lion dance? You all remember that? And I almost raised my hands and I said, lion dance, you should know about that, Sergi. Anyway, so thank you, Hayden, and thank you, Faith. I have a couple of colleagues here that I want to recognize. I know Jeanette is here back there. Thank you, Jeanette. I know Hayana was here as well. And I think Rick was also here as well. I want to thank them for their partnership as well. In about 4 years ago, I was introduced to Faith, and I think someone said this earlier. When I first met Hayden, I was attracted to her vision. And she told me about how I can help support Faith, how I can partner. I signed up for the Donor Advisory Board. That's how I started, and then I started teaching first-time homebuyer workshops on Saturdays, where we counseled potential home buyers to help them get into homes. And so after 4 years, we've been a very good partner to Faith. The bank has supported Faith in many ways with home ownership and also with the C2 leadership programs, and we continue to participate with the first-time homebuyer workshops and all the other home ownership programs that they do. Faith has also been an integral part of First Citizens Bank's design of what we call our special purpose credit program. When we were putting together our special purpose credit program, we reached out to Hayden and we asked her thoughts on how we should craft that program and what would be really beneficial to the community. And she didn't hold back. She gave us all the advice that we needed to be able to make a special purpose program, which is basically, for those of you that are asking what that is, it's basically a down payment assistance program that helps people get into homes. So Hayden was instrumental in helping us design that, which has been a trailblazer in LA and beyond and all of California, so we're thankful for that. Yes. And she was also kind enough to participate in a marketing campaign, which is going to be released soon. And we're looking forward to all of that. So it's been a great ride for the last 4 years. We appreciate your partnership and thank you for being a partner.
Thank you. And I know that when they were designing in many of the special purpose credit programs, again, they leave out the AAPI community. When we brought it to First Citizens, to their attention, they decided to include the AAPI to the point where their leaders are sharing it with other policymakers. And they said, did you speak to Nathan? And so, again, appreciate the friendship. Now our next honoree.
Can we just give Hayden a big round of applause for what we just heard her do? Now we see why Face has the longevity that they have because of the genuine interest in people, and also to First Citizens Bank for their contribution. Let's give them a round of applause to that. And for those who are trying to know, he's from Ghana, I'm from Nigeria, and the difference between us is that Ghanaians answer their questions directly. Like if you ask him, where are you from? He will tell you, I'm from Ghana. But Nigerians use questions to answer questions. That's the difference. If you ask him, where are you from? You say, I'm from Ghana. If you ask me, where are you from? I'll ask, why are you asking? So that's the difference between us. So our next award is for the Media Partner Award. And we're going to call on the Los Angeles Sentinel and being represented by Cora Jackson, Fawcett Managing Editor. Cora Jackson, let's give a round of applause, please.
Your Light Shines Media Partner Award for your partnership in empowering families to achieve their dream of homeownership and commitment to uniting communities. I want to say that during the Atlanta post-Atlanta massacre, there was a new awareness of the hate crimes and discrimination that Asian Americans face. And one of my former mentors, Reverend Mark Whitlock, decided to write an article titled Asian Lives Matter. And I remember asking, are you sure you want to do that to yourself? But he absolutely did, and not only did he do that, he reached out to LA Sentinel to publish it. And I'm so grateful that LA Sentinel came along when I think it could be very controversial to step forward to stand in solidarity. And also for our homeownership fair, they have also been a very strong partner. And so again, we are so grateful to you, and we want to present this Media Partner Award.
Good evening, and I am so honored on behalf of the Los Angeles Sentinel and our executive publisher, Danny J. Bakewell Sr., to be recognized by FACE and to be recognized by IPEN. We've known each other for a while, and as anybody that knows her knows that you can't say no to IPEN. That word is not accepted by her. So it has been an honor to work with you, and I look forward to future partnerships. And I just want to thank you once again.
Wow. After everything I've heard about Edmund tonight, you just remind me of my mom. The year I turned 18, I told my mom, I'm a man now, I can go out and come back whenever I like. And she said, not under my roof. So I said, so at what age can I go out and come back whenever I wanted? And from my response, I knew she was the most powerful human being on earth. She said, not even your father has gotten to that age yet. And I said, okay, all right, now I know. So ladies and gentlemen, our next awardee will be the Community Partner Award for the LA County African American Employees Association, and the president is being represented by Delora Ellis Grant. Community Partner Award. Yes, the LA County African American Employees Association.
So while Delora is coming up, I want to just do a shout out. I think between Delora and Tara, they did so much work. I feel like as an organization that serves everyone but that has a focus on Asian American, they did so well that I feel like we've become an African American community serving entity. 40% of our home ownership fair were from the African American community. So again, Delora, she is awesome. She is passionate. She could be the keynote speaker. So with that, please come to the stage. Dolores, Your Light Shines Community Partner Award to the LA County African American Employees Association for your partnership in empowering families to achieve their dream of homeownership and commitment to uniting communities.
Okay, so thank you all. First of all, thank you for allowing the LACAEA, as we call it, the Los Angeles County African American Employees Association, the opportunity to bring this information and resource to our community. As we continue to look at African Americans in this county and the disparities, we knew that this was something that we needed to get involved with because of the numbers not moving as fast as we want. So we can look forward to future partnership. We're ready for 2025. And on Wilshire, you all, I don't think we have done nothing like that in this county before. We had 1,300 individuals, mostly county employees in that church, saying, I want the information. I should be able to purchase a home in the county in which I serve. Public service matter, and we thank you.
Let's vote for Delora, right? Delora for president. And Octavia came through that, right? So again, what a full circle here.
All right.
Thank you.
Next, we are going to LA County Asian American Employees Association for the Community Partner Award. We have Dara Smith, acting president.
So as Dara comes up to the stage, again, I am so grateful for the LA County Asian American Employees Association. I was shocked to find 20,000 employees are Asian out of 100,000 in LA County, and they are doing so much work, and yet they actually do it under the shadows, behind the scene, and they really do deserve an amazing recognition. And we are again so grateful that we have worked together in so many ways. I know that it was Eddie that connected me, and now with Dara. And I think on the side, you know, whenever we have challenges with our affordable housing, tax reporting, I just reach out to Dara. We have the inside connection. So reach out to her. Remember Dara's name, and she just also ran for public office and came in second in a neighborhood that really she's not so active because she lives in, and has to do all her dedication in LA. So again, thank you so much. So let me read this. Your light shines, community. Your light shines, the Community Partner Award for the LA County Asian American Employees Association for your partnership in empowering families to achieve their dream of homeownership and commitment to uniting communities. Thank you, Dara. I feel like I've met so many friends through the LISEA network, and so again, just want to do a shout out to LISEA and also the partnership, even for our Youth at Work program. So again, a big thank you.
Thank you. I just want to say that it's a very hard act to follow, being the acting president behind Eddie Yen, of course. So Eddie really did help build LISEA. And one of the things that I wanted to emphasize tonight is the partnership that FACE and LISEA have. We have touched so many different lives. And it's a testament, really, that we have department heads, county department heads here, chief deputies here. And one of the most important things, when you have a Board of Supervisors office supporting AAPI initiatives, when you have employee workforces, we have a round of applause to all of our county employees who serve every day for this community. And so, we got a little bit of a dual benefit FACE did, because not only did you have the LISEA, Hispanic Manager Association, you got the assessor's office to help support with home ownership and trying to make sure we strive to get more people into homes. So it's one of the greatest things that we have to do. So
Thank you. And again, I think we'll
This is what politicians do.
Thank you. And as we say in church, the devil is a liar.
I think we have some great entertainers in the room. All right.
All right, so for the next Community Partner Award, we we are going to call on the Los Angeles County Hispanic Managers Association, and represented by Robert Meneses, the president. Is here. Go step away from him. We'll come back to that, and we'll go to the next. The Home Buyer Education Champion Award will be Brian Hahn, the Director, Regional Sales Manager, New Wave Lending Group. A round of applause for Brian Hahn.
So while Brian is coming up, this championship award really, actually David, come on up. We have really been blessed to have educators, professionals come along in terms of teaching our home buyer education classes. But there's a very few that have the 5 C's, what I call capacity, knowing the down payment program, commitment to taking them all the way to the finish line, as well as good communication, coordination, and compassion for first-time home buyers. And I do want to just do a shout out to Brian, because maybe some of the banks that he has worked with, not necessarily like the one that has the most generous down payment program, but even though he may not have gotten really the referrals as such, he was very dedicated and has been with us for all these years. And I'm also very proud that he will be an upcoming president, national president of ARIA as well. So again, a big thank you. Your Light Shines Homebuyer Education Champion Award for your long-term commitment and partnership with FACE in helping families achieve their dream of homeownership.
Wow. First of all, I'm so honored and thankful for this opportunity to be here tonight. This was, I received a few recognition in my career, but this is probably one of the big ones for me, because it's one thing when you're striving to bring results, but when others take the time to recognize you, that really says a lot. So, I remember someone saying that you can't say no to Hipton. I agree with that 100%, because sometimes I'll be in Hawaii visiting my mom at 6 a.m. and I'll be jumping on to helping with the homebuyer seminar, because I knew at the end of the Zoom meetings during that time, there were people, lives that were being impacted. And I would always try to encourage them that, at the end of the day, to make sure that you work with the resources that are available to you, and ultimately you make the choice of realizing the American dream of becoming a homeowner. So with that, I want to thank all of you for all that you do, and thank you, Pepin and FACE, for all that you do. Thank you.
Next, Homebuyer Education Champion Award recipient is Jenny Izumi. She's a realtor with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Crest Real Estate.
So while Jenny comes up, she is a fighter. If you want someone on your side, Jenny is it. She will be up all kinds of hours. She will sacrifice. And even long after she's already done the deal, when the home buyer comes along and says, can you help me with this? She does it. And she knows a lot of people, a lot of programs. And again, she is definitely someone who has the 5 C's. And I am so grateful to you. Again, Home Buyer Education Champion Award, your long-term commitment and partnership with FACE in helping families achieve their dream of homeownership. Thank you. All right. Our next honoree.
Yes, our next award recipient would be for the Home Buyer Education Champion Award goes to Jeanette Ruiz Mays, Loan Officer, First City Citizens Bank.
So again, Jeanette is another one that has been dedicated for all the years. And whenever we are counseling clients, there's many times we will actually call a banker and ask for advice. And when we do call them, they're not responding as just like a lender, but really to help the client. And Jeanette is one of the few, literally handful, that really knows down payment assistance programs and is always willing to take my call no matter what time of the day or at night. So with that, again, I just want to, Your Light Shines, the Home Buyer Education Champion Award. Thank you so much.
And our next award recipient for the Home Buyer Education Champion Award, Michelle Scott, Community Lending Mortgage Banker, City National Bank.
As Michelle Scott comes, she was the loan officer that helped Octavia. And again, we do the upfront work of screening, educating, guiding, but ultimately, at the end of the day, it is the loan officer that takes them to the finish line. And Michelle, again, is someone that has the 5 C's. She also seems to have some really great inside information related to home builders, where people could buy a home for a significantly lower cost, right? And so again, so grateful to you, Michelle. Again, thank you so much. And we present you the Home Buyer Education Champion Award, Your Light Shines.
Hello, are we still here? All right, if you're still here, say hello. All right, our next award recipient is for the Volunteer Award, Tara Pahan, LA County African American Employees Association. Tara.
So while Tara comes up, again, when you're in nonprofit service, you meet a lot of people who have a big heart. But I do have to say for Tara, when she was doing our homeownership fair, she went all out. She literally brought the tables, recruited the volunteers, and went and took all our stuff. And then even in the recent periods, like, how can I help? Even though she's tonight's honoree. And again, I'm just giving a little taste of just the impression that I had of someone who really goes beyond call of duty. And so we're very pleased to recognize you, Your Light Shines Volunteer Award for your valuable volunteer service beyond call of duty in support of FACE's work of empowering families achieve their dream. She even took work time off to come and volunteer today. All right. It is drawing time, okay?
All right. Well, this is the lucky one, because this time around, the winner gets $20 gift card and a 2024 Toyota Corolla Kyota. Okay. Kyota.
Okay, all right. I'm going to pull this one. Okay. Oops, sorry. You know what? This person wrote nothing. So, okay, we'll go to the next one. Just past probation.
Okay, that is very, very ambiguous.
Just passed probation. Who is it?
Just passed
Probation? Maybe probation period? Maybe 3-month probation.
What probation? Do you know anybody here who just passed probation?
Who?
Mari.
No,
No.
it's not Mari.
Well, barring you've just been exposed by his money.
for me.
Hey Ben, there's someone back there saying keep asking.
Keep asking?
No, says he get it. Oh, that's Will.
Will, that's right. Yes, who said it?
Okay.
Come on up.
Will.
Congratulations. Will.
Will is correct.
And William, so we'll give you the 2 certificates. Actually, you can give it to them, okay? Congratulations.
No, not me.
To Will. Actually, Will is Eddie, his brother. We didn't do an inside job here. Okay, all right, congratulations. All right, woo. Okay, well, you know what? We're getting to the finish line. We want to tell you, we started this organization because my parents were in ministry. They ended up becoming unpaid social workers. And I think that is true for so many ministers. And as such, our organization formed to connect churches and equip them to do what they do in a more powerful way. And our C2 leadership was formed. And so recently, Sojourners, which is a very wonderful organization, came and did an interview with our C2 fellows. And so with that, we're going to do a short video. Can we do that? The Leadership Institute video.
I was first introduced to FACE through the C2 Leadership Institute. I was a part of a cohort here in Southern California with United Methodist pastors and leaders. And part of what we learned in that space was how we can strategically build partnerships with civic organizations, community organizations, elected officials and leaders, other faith constituencies as well, to help meet the needs of our communities and our neighborhoods. Building nonprofits so that we can generate funding, resources to support our community, our neighborhoods, knowing what types of public resources were available through government. Yes, building affordable housing is a cornerstone, but how do we work together to improve the quality of life in our very neighborhood? And that's what FACE has done.
I serve as the lead pastor of a church that is predominantly Asian American. The name of our church is Citizens LA, and the whole idea or vision around our church is being a city within a city. It's amazing when you find an organization like FACE that you can partner with who are already doing incredible work. We pastor this group of people, many of whom grew up in the church. They know their Bibles, they know the right lingo, and then you look at their lives, and so many of their relationships are fractured, and you realize there's something that we're not doing well.
I was fortunate to be a part of the C2 Leadership Institute. I learned actually how to go out and market who we are, and because of that, a lot of good things have happened because of the connection with FACE. We had a food pantry. Prior to the pandemic, the church passed out food twice a month. When the pandemic hit, there was a need for us to have food all the time. It made me think about the fact that maybe we should grow some food. Because of the work that the partnership, I think, with C2 Leadership Initiative, we've been able to gather new partners around us.
My partnership is more, I guess, personal and formative than just the current church partnership that we have right now. And now that I've built that relationship, and now that I've gone through my training and I've been established as a pastor at an established church, our possibilities are limitless. So right now we're again partnering in affordable housing, and we're going to continue that to see where else can we go down.
The two areas that I'm very passionate about is AIDS and inclusion, but also faith empowerment. We wrote a report that was accepted by the White House on the untapped, unleveraged resources of the faith community. But every individual, every community has that platform, right, for their gifting to be realized and to be lifted up. Everyone gets blessed.
this note, I'll say the Lord is good. All the time. Thank you, church people. And all the time? Thank you. So we are going to call on C2 Leadership Institute testimony, Marcy Palos, co-founder and CEO of Restore LA CDC. Please give her a round of applause. Please. Come on.
So Haven said I only have 1 minute. I'm a pastor's kid, so I'm gonna try and keep it 1 minute. I want to say thank you so much to everyone in this room, but mostly to Haven and the C2 family and the faith community. I resonated so much with her story. You know, my parents came here from Central America, and people see Latinos and they kind of bulk us all together, and they don't realize that we're actually very different. Central American community is very different than Mexican community and South American community. And what we started realizing was that a lot of the things that the Asian community was struggling with, and I was learning in our C2 class, our community was struggling with as well. We're based out of South LA, and when my parents founded the church 40 years ago, we were a community that we wouldn't speak up because we didn't even know what to ask for. We didn't know what to say. There's a language barrier, cultural barrier. And when I met Haven, she really allowed us to speak up, and you'll hear her say, "Shine your light." And I used to not want to shine my light. I wanted to hide behind the light because I didn't want it to be about me. And she really mentored us and reminded us that it's not about you as an individual, but really about the community that you serve. And so in 2022, I actually graduated from Haven's class, which should be considered a college level class because it was very intense. But she really taught us as ministry folks who are transitioning into nonprofit space, how to really run a nonprofit. I learned how to create a budget, write my first grant, build a vision committee out of my church. And through our workshop, I actually met some of our partners who are here. First Citizens was actually on our panel the first year that I was a student, and I was extremely nervous. But fast forward now, 4 years later, actually one of First Citizens bankers is actually on our board of directors, which is very exciting. Since then, we have serviced hundreds of people in South Los Angeles. We do affordable. Restore LA focuses on affordable housing and small business support. We are able to resource and give tools to Latinos who a lot of times don't know where to start on home ownership. This year, we educated over 300 people in home ownership and got 10% of them into homes, which is exciting. And then on the other side is we realize, the Hispanic community is very entrepreneurial, but a lot of times they don't know what to do with that desire, that passion. There's fear, there's language barriers. So we actually started a small business cohort, and we graduated our first year 20 Latino-owned small businesses, and this year we graduated 22 Latino-owned small businesses. So the reason I share all of this is because I was a regular church person who worked in ministry full-time, and didn't really know how I can step out and serve my community on a greater scale. And it was really C2 that helped us do that helped our church transition into a bigger scale and serve our community on a greater scale. And so thank you so much, Haven. She's a mentor. We've gone to lunch, and she answers all my hard questions because it is new waters to navigate. But I know that I remember when she would tell us, I'll tell you a funny story. When we would be in class, she would tell us stuff like, one day, these funders will be your friends and you'll have their cell phone number. And we all kind of laughed at her and we're like, that would never happen. And it's true, guys. Like, now these people are my friends. There's some of them in the back. She really allows us to serve outside of what we always thought we had to be, which is in the four walls of the church. She really equipped us and gave us the tools to be able to serve outside and on a greater scale. So thank you, Nathan. I went over a minute.
All right, there's an earthly 1 minute and there's a spiritual 1 minute. That was a spiritual 1 minute. She was in the spirit. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the next testimony from the C2 Leadership Institute, Reverend Gary Bernard Williams, is a pastor of St. Mark United Methodist Church. You have 1 earthly minute, sir.
One minute. One minute. Somebody ought to say amen. It's an honor to be here. My name is Reverend Gary Bernard Williams. I pastor St. Mark United Methodist Church in South Los Angeles. We're located on 83rd and Gramercy, right outside of Inglewood. It was in 2020 that I was introduced to HAPN and the C2 program. And the first meeting, she said, "What is your project going to be?" And I had to think quick, because we had been passing out food for years as a church. However, when the pandemic hit, we had people lined up every day for food. And the food we were giving them was food from the food bank, which was mostly survival food, canned goods, stuff like that. And I started thinking, maybe we should grow food and be able to give away produce. And so we were able to create a small garden, and I got my first grant was $20,000. We were able to transfer a part of our back of our church into a garden that we were able to grow and give away 400 to 500 pounds of food each year. And because in the United States, there's something like, I believe, 47 million people that go hungry every single day. And the community in which I serve is a community that is a part of a community where there is no healthy food choices. There are only fast food restaurants, hardly any supermarkets. And so we began to think about how we can assist our community to eat better and teach our children about eating healthier. And since then, because of my connection with HAPN and C2, the skills that I was able to get was learning how to network and how to partner with other organizations. And I was introduced to a woman that has a PhD in food science, and she's a master gardener. And so together we started brainstorming what can we do next. And I was able to pick up a piece of property that's located on the corner of 65th Place and Normandy. It used to be a church, and now it is a affordable housing unit for emancipated young people coming out of foster care. But there's a lot next to a 9,500 square foot lot that was gifted to my church. And so, so what we've been able to do with that is we received another grant of $150,000 to renovate that land, and we're going to turn that into the Epwood Urban Farm. That area is zoned for a farmer's market, and so we're going to create a farmer's market. We're going to have space there for community gathering space. I have 2 clergy women that's going to be leading that area. We're going to create a community, a faith community as well, themed around food justice and continue to push for better eating in that community. So right now we're in the process of designing that land and creating this thing. By next summer we will be growing food there. I'm looking for volunteers. If there's anybody here that wants to volunteer, we're there every Saturday from 9 to 12 on 65th Place in Normandy. So if you want to volunteer, come and see me. I want to thank HAPN for everything that I learned in C2. It was like, learning about how to present my project in less than 30 seconds on an elevator pitch. How to have just confidence in my ability to meet people and network and build partners. So my church now, our website, we have many partners. HAPN used to tell me, you don't have any partners on your website.
My website is full of the partners that we have today. The church is thriving because we have to find new ways to be sustainable as a church. Tithes and offerings no longer will sustain a congregation. And so we find new ways to create streams of revenue for the congregation so we can continue to do ministry and continue to better our community. Thank you, APM.
Thank you, Pastor. Right. Can we give a round of applause once again? So this is the QR code for you to sign up for the C2 Leadership Institute if you'd like to start a firm and to learn how to present your case in 30 seconds, in the elevator, everything you want to learn. Sign up now with your QR code.
At this time, we would like to do a special poetry reading by Reverend David Kim.
A round of applause, Reverend David Kim.
My wife and I have known Hippin for a long time, since college days at Berkeley, and my wife was Hippin's roommate, and we are honored to be part of the Donor Advisory Board, and we thank God for Hippin and Face, and the poem I'm going to I wrote is called Kairos Time, which means God's appointed time, and I believe that in God's appointed time, He has raised up Face organization, so I'm going to read it. It's short, so that's good. This is Kairos time, where God is on the move. He's working all around. Get into His groove. For such a time as this, God has raised Face up to be the salt and light, to overflow our cups. Into the world we live, this time of fear and pain, to spread His perfect peace, to extend His rule and reign. Like Esther in the Bible, bold and without fear, standing before the King, changing the atmosphere. Kairos time is now, God's appointed hour. Holy Spirit, come, move in might and power.
At this time, we would like to just recognize our board of directors and their service with the certificate. And so if our board members could come to the front, we would like to do a quick presentation. If all the board members could come to the front.
Board members, please. Can we give them a round of applause as they step forward, please? So we give a round of applause to all the board members.
At this time, we would like to invite Kevin Tom, who is a pastor and someone that we have quite a long journey, a donor advisory board member, but someone else who's come full circle, just like Jessica.
Thank you. Hi everyone, my name is Kevin. I'm the lead pastor at Center Valley United Methodist Church, which is a congregation that's fully inclusive of all people, including those who identify as LGBTQI. Sorry about my informal wear. I actually ran over here from the Korean consulate to protest. You all know exactly what we're protesting about. Which leads me to my relationship with Faith and Haypin, where Faith has always inspired me to fight for the liberation of all people, especially as a faith leader. I met Haypin and got connected to Faith through the C2 leadership right out of college. So I was a C2 fellow. After that, I volunteered at a bunch of events, eventually joined Faith as a staff member, where I was really given tools to think outside of my box and expand the way that God can use me, right? And how God can use the other ministry where I serve. Haypin, she's constantly helped me to recover in my moments of cynicism. For those of you who are pastors, you know ministry is hard, and you know people always come at you and attack you. And in those moments where I'm like, I'm quitting, I hate all of this, I hate people, Haypin was always that shining light that said, Kevin, I know how you feel, you can do this, God's got your back. And if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't be a pastor right now. So, fast forward, I'm fully recovered, I'm perfect, amen. No, not really. But in my imperfection, but in my place of, I'm in a better place now. I've had the opportunity to partner with Faith, or where I have the opportunity where we're exploring some really creative things, like in my 2 church campuses, we're looking at building affordable housing units on those campuses to provide housing for low-income seniors, while also providing an alternative income source for the church. So for all of you who are here, you all have an amazing connection to Faith. So I encourage you all to continue to open your wallets, empty your pockets, and give Faith your money, because you know where it's gonna go. Not to Haypin's pockets. But it's gonna go to the good of all people, so thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. So again, affordable housing, a shout out to our board member, Mauri Ruano, who is the chair of our affordable housing initiative. And we are walking with churches to assess of their feasibility of doing affordable housing on their church land. Okay, the moment that you've been waiting for. We want to acknowledge and recognize all our donor advisory board members. If you came in, you should have gotten your certificate. It's a little late, it's still back there, but I want to invite everyone to come who are donor advisory board members, if you could go through, and we will do a swearing in. And now our board chair, Eddie Yen, he's also an official, officiator? Is that the right word? And so he will swear all of you in. So all the donor advisory board members, we will do a swearing in and a group photo. So please come with your certificate. If you don't have it, we'll be able to give it to you afterwards. So please come forward.
Can we give them a round of applause, please? 2025 donor advisory board members.
All right. So everyone come all at once. And as we're doing that, the donor advisory board names and photos are on. And so if you guys could do the screening. So Gio, as well as Holly, Ken, Adam, Alex, Eric, Lily, James, please come to the front. Just come all to the front. I'm just calling out the names. Please cheer. Yunsan, Charles, John, Reverend John, as well as Eric, Lem, Delora, Mike, Jerome, Jihi, Ethan, Jenny, Cora, Hannah, Kevin, Soyun, Stephen, David, Grace, Irene, Reverend Jerry Kim, Sharon, Daniel, Reverend Kampong Lee, Marvin Lee, Vinny, Henry, Sharon, Timothy, Martin, Jeanette, Michelle, Eugene, Dara, Vicky, Reverend Gusan, Michael, Diane, Margaret, as well as, oh boy, Andrew. So do we have everyone on stage? Okay, maybe we might have to do 2 rows. Let's do that. Yeah, 1 or 2, yes. Okay, that sounds good. All right. Yeah, come to the front. Yeah, that's good. Okay, good. So, thank you. And again, just a big thank you to our donor advisory board members. So Eddie, you're going to do the swearing, right? Yes, yes.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, no, I didn't realize I could do this until I started swearing in the supervisors, the district attorney the other day, and I wasn't the governor, so I wasn't on that one. All right. Should we do it?
Yeah.
Ready?
Okay.
All right.
So we should raise our hand, right?
Raise your right hand.
Raise your right hand.
Typically, you would have the family Bible or something, but you have a certificate. This is perfectly fine. Okay, are you ready? So, I state your name.
I
do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter. So help me God.
So help me God.
All right, congratulations.
All the board members can come to the front too. Let's do this group photo op. No sé cómo sea. Group photo op. Okay, all right. Congratulations to each of you, and a shout out to Vanessa and Claire who worked until 2 in the morning. At this time, we're going to close out with the prayer of blessing. And so, Reverend Debbie Kim, if you could come back on stage, and then please feel free to network and eat some cookies, etc. Yes, we're going to close out in prayer.
Okay, let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this night of celebration. We thank you for raising up Face and Pin and the staff and all the community partners for such a time as this. Lord, we pray for your blessing upon our community, God, that where brothers and sisters dwell together in unity, there you command the blessing. So we give you glory, honor, and praise. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
And a shout out to Shane for, again, his awesome job and partnership. Big thank you. Let's give him a round. And Shane, is there a website that people should know and follow you?
Yes, I have a card that I've...
Okay, card. So please follow him. All right, thank you. Yes, and donate to Face as well.
We have to get a number now. Shaking hands, lights. So we have to water.